Night shift arrives at an Australian hospital.
They just keep coming.
They've got the janitor surrounded for his eucalyptus oil.
They prefer quality over quantity.
I can't bear all these puns.
Eucalyptus with scientifically incorrect puns. Standard koalas aren't bears. We have drop bears, but they don't crawl more than a few meters at a time.
This was a fucking roller coaster.
Thesaurus.
They cute though edit didn't realize that was a copy pasta till I scrolled further down. Maomi point stands nevertheless.
Why you gotta do koalas like that, man?
Also they apparently enjoy cunnilingus but don't stick around after, as defined by Webster Dictionary. Koala bear, small marsupial found in Australia. Eats bushes and leaves.
Next.
It won't get me under this umbrella.
You got me, I thought he was gonna slip on the grass.
First I thought the umbrella was going to rip and get him soaked. When he started to walk away, that's when I thought he was going to slip.
I thought he was going to get trampled by a pack of migrating wildebeests. Boy, was I off.
I thought it was a girl.
Run expected.
You're not alone.
That would have been my next guess.
Was hoping for a wet cement slip onto the grass and getting a face full of pouring gutter water. Still was not disappointed. My guess also is that the rushing water on the umbrella may have given it a very small charge. Enough to help direct the lightning toward it.
Whoa, I thought that same thing. What are the odds?
I thought he was going to win the lottery.
Next.
Insane move sends opponent flying.
What happened? Why did a parent get in it and point at the camera?
What the hell is going on here?
In wrestling, it is illegal to bring the arm up that high in the back as it can seriously hurt the opponent. It is, however, legal to grab and lock the arm to the back as long as their hand is by the ass-waist area.
And you can see after the top kids go flying, green kid's arm is still wrenched behind his back. The ref actually kneels down to help him.
Yeah, you can catch a glimpse of it. I actually winced when I saw it. What the fuck was that ref was doing allowing that to happen?
Part of me wants to say he was watching something else happening, but there was literally nothing there but the arm wrench. Dad reacted when the ref was blind as a bat, or he simply didn't know the rules. Either way, he should have to sit a few matches and read up on the rules.
It seemed like the ref called something and then was signaling to the official's box to make a record of the call, then he looks down and goes for that half-assed little whoa there fellas tap wave. Although I'm not sure if there is a table of officiators in wrestling.
I think you're right, looks like he goes to do something about it but the parent comes in beforehand. I only say this by how shocked the ref looks before the parent comes in. He's even already down there putting his hand on the kid's shoulder to stop him. At least maybe.
Ooh, watching this video is like watching the NFC Championship game all over again, or NFL's version of Bird Box.
Actually you can see the ref starts to address to hold before the dad runs in. Not saying he wasn't late, just his view of the kid's arm may have been blocked for a second.
Next.
That poor guy.
I feel bad for him, but also the driver would have to be pretty shocked to just find a man suddenly in their garage.
Holy shit. I hope the driver is not an off-duty Brazilian cop.
Oh shit, our watch people D is leaking from the quarantine.
Why can't I go to it?
You gotta go on a PC and say you are cool with the content. Then you can see it on your phone.
Unless you use Reddit is fun.
I still had to do it on a PC.
Except if you're in Germany.
Best app.
Joey for Reddit also works.
Next.
Carnivorous pitcher plant traps a fly.
Don't put your dick in that.
Thank you for expanding my mind.
I aim to please. But don't put your dick in that.
You're not the boss of me.
Why does your boss tell you where you can put your dick in?
Because he's a porn actor.
And you're not so big.
Life is unfair.
You sure only your mind expanded?
All thanks to this amazing method that doctors won't tell you.
Next.
There's something wrong with this ball.
I remember my 7th grade football team pulling this during multiple games. It worked twice before word had spread and he got tackled.
There's a video somewhere of a team trying this and the guy getting absolutely hammered.
Is this allowed?
Nods in agreement like I understood what the hell you just said.
Nods in lots of confusion.
Sports. Now when do the free throws happen in this sport? What about home runs?
Wait, this isn't the one where there are 11 dudes running on the field back and forth?
I saw the formation and expected to see an outside receiver. Once there wasn't, I knew it was a illegal formation.
They're standing around butts.
This guy footballs.
Next.
What do you whiny human?
The way he goes back in the trashcan looks like someone is yanking him back in there.
Now if you please excuse me, I want to go back to my natural habitat.
I wonder if the trashcan has garbage inside?
Who disturbs my slumber?
'Tis I, whiny human.
What do you?
It was I, Dio.
OMG, what breed is Hesher? They're so cute.
Russian blue cats. They're beautiful. I have 2 named Bobby and Edgar. Thank you for joining us, Lena. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you for having me, Stacy.
And we'll be right back after this. Welcome back. Now you're going to hear a poem. My soul is like an enchanted boat, which, like a sleeping swan, doth float upon the silver waves of thy sweet singing. And you are like an angel sit beside a helm conducting it, whilst all the winds with melody are ringing. It seems to float ever, forever, upon that many-winding river, between mountains, woods, abysses, a paradise of wildernesses. Till, like one in slumber bound, borne to the ocean, I float down, around, into a sea profound, of ever-spreading sound. Meanwhile thy spirit lifts its pinions in music's most serene dominions, catching the winds that fan that happy heaven. And we sail on, away, afar, without a course, without a star, but, by the instinct of sweet music driven, till through Elysian garden islets, by thee, most beautiful of pilots, where never mortal pinnace glided, the boat of my desire is guided, realms where the air we breathe is love, which in the winds and on the waves doth move, harmonizing this earth with what we feel above. We have passed ages' icy caves, and manhood's dark and tossing waves, and youth's smooth ocean, smiling to betray. Beyond the glassy gulfs we flee, of shadow-peopled infancy, through death and birth, to a diviner day. A paradise of vaulted bowers, lit by downward-gazing flowers, and watery paths that wind between. Wildernesses calm and green, peopled by shapes too bright to see, and rest, having beheld somewhat like thee, which walk upon the sea, and chant melodiously. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back. Let's have a look at some artworks. The Crucifixion and Last Judgment diptych, or diptych with Calvary and Last Judgment, consists of two small painted panels attributed to the early Netherlandish artist Jan van Eyck, with areas finished by unidentified followers or members of his workshop. This diptych is one of the early Northern Renaissance oil-on-panel masterpieces, renowned for its unusually complex and highly detailed iconography, and for the technical skill evident in its completion. It was executed in a miniature format. The panels are just 56.5 cm (22.2 in) high by 19.7 cm (7.8 in) wide. The diptych was probably commissioned for private devotion. The left-hand wing depicts the crucifixion. It shows Christ's followers grieving in the foreground, soldiers and spectators milling about in the mid-ground, and a portrayal of three crucified bodies in the upper ground. The scene is framed against an azure sky with a view of Jerusalem in the distance. The right-hand wing portrays scenes associated with the Last Judgment, a hellscape at its base, the resurrected awaiting judgment in the center ground, and a representation of Christ in majesty flanked by a great decis of saints, apostles, clergy, virgins and nobility in the upper section. Portions of the work contain Greek, Latin and Hebrew inscriptions. The original gilt frames contain biblical passages in Latin drawn from the books of Isaiah, Deuteronomy and Revelation. According to a date written in Russian on their reverse, the panels were transferred to canvas supports in 1867. Barge haulers on the Volga or Burlaki Russian, Burlaki na Volge. Burlaki na Volge is an 1870–73 oil-on-canvas painting by the realist artist Ilya Repin. It depicts 11 men physically dragging a barge on the banks of the Volga River. They are at the point of collapse from exhaustion, oppressed by heavy, hot weather. The work is a condemnation of profit from inhumane labor. Although they are presented as stoical and accepting, the men are defeated. Only one stands out. In the center of both the row and canvas, a brightly colored youth fights against his leather binds and takes on a heroic pose. Repin conceived the painting during his travels through Russia as a young man and depicts actual characters he encountered. It drew international praise for its realistic portrayal of the hardships of working men, and launched his career. Soon after its completion, the painting was purchased by Grand Duke Vladimir Alexandrovich and exhibited widely throughout Europe as a landmark of Russian realist painting. Barge haulers on the Volga has been described as, perhaps the most famous painting of the Peredvizhniki movement for its unflinching portrayal of backbreaking labor. Repin was accepted into the Imperial Academy of Art in St. Petersburg in 1863. The Academy at the time was known for its deep conservatism and leaning towards academic art, a fact that bred a sense of revolt and desire for change in many of its students. Barge haulers was inspired by scenes witnessed by Repin while holidaying on the Volga in 1870. We'll be right back after these messages.